Greece's optics manufacturer Theon is expanding into the United States with a move that reaches far beyond commercial diversification. The company, in partnership with Massachusetts-based Kopin, will open a new manufacturing and development facility in Reston, Virginia to produce fused night vision, thermal, and augmented reality systems for U.S. and allied militaries. The decision was unveiled at AUSA 2025 in Washington, D.C., where Theon framed the initiative as a structural shift in its transatlantic strategy rather than a tactical sales maneuver. By anchoring production on U.S. soil, the company is positioning itself inside the world's largest defense procurement environment at a time when the Pentagon is modernizing soldier optics and cutting dependencies in critical supply chains. What makes the Reston project significant is not only that Theon enters the U.S. market, but that it enters with high-end fused technologies instead of legacy gear. Theon will co-develop systems using Kopin's Darkwave module, an augmented vision display engine designed for defense-grade imagery and overlay. These systems merge intensified night vision with thermal sensing and digital data feeds, reflecting a shift in military demand away from single-function optics to devices that connect the operator into a sensor network battlespace. For the U.S. Army, which is investing heavily in digitally enabled squads and edge compute soldier platforms, local access to such technology increases both industrial assurance and acquisition velocity. The move comes after Theon has already established a continental industrial footprint in Europe. The company recently set up a Belgian subsidiary with a production site near Brussels to support NATO and EU programs, and co-located its German headquarters with Andres Industries in Berlin to accelerate joint development of thermal-fused soldier systems. These steps provide a foundation of credibility. Theon is not making an opportunistic landing in Virginia from a single market background, but scaling into the U.S. after already embedding itself inside Europe's procurement and technology corridors. That cross-continental posture reduces logistics and export friction across NATO customers and signals to U.S. counterparts that the supplier already plays at alliance scale. The European front is not only industrial but contractual. Through Aker, Theon has secured deliveries of next-generation thermal clip-on systems for Belgian and German armed forces. These Iris-C units interface with Theon or third-party night vision goggles and provide fused imagery that improves detection and recognition in degraded environments, while optionally overlaying mission data such as target markers, friend or foe tags, or navigation cues when coupled to Theon's smart power modules and battlefield apps like ATAK. This program matters to U.S. observers not because it concerns Europe, but because it proves that Theon is already delivering fused optical systems at scale, the exact class of product now prioritized by U.S. modernization roadmaps. By opting to manufacture in Virginia, Theon neutralizes the two structural obstacles foreign firms typically face in U.S. defense capture: time and distance. First, local manufacturing shortens supply chains and insulates deliveries from export license volatility in Europe. Second, co-development with a U.S. partner places engineering, qualification, and sustainment within American jurisdiction, which directly aligns with procurement preferences for domestic or co-produced systems. In the current congressional climate, where onshore defense capacity is conflated with national resilience, this positioning raises the probability of program access in ways that pure import strategies rarely achieve. The company's product architecture is also calibrated for where the market is moving, not where it has been. Theon is shifting its revenue base from legacy night vision goggles toward fused, digital, and network-aware optics that act not as isolated sensors but as terminals in a combat information lattice. Alongside Iris-C, Theon is fielding platforms like Orion fused binoculars, the Thea transparent head-up display for digitized squads, and the Thermis thermal sights family for assault rifles and long-range weapons. It has also developed Talos and Triton electro-optical surveillance suites for land and maritime perimeter defense, all architected with modularity and networking in mind. This portfolio alignment is one reason why the U.S. entry is happening now, just as U.S. doctrine is converging on similar architectural principles. The industrial rationale extends deeper. Western militaries are not only buying technology, they are attempting to future-proof supply. The Pentagon wants redundancy across friendly geographies so that optical modernization is not vulnerable to single-point disruption in a crisis. Theon's insertion into the U.S., layered atop its German and Belgian expansions, produces precisely the type of multi-node resilience NATO strategies encourage: production on both sides of the Atlantic, with technological and contractual interlocks connecting them. For users, this reduces the risk that production bottlenecks, export freezes, or shocks to shipping lanes could derail delivery schedules tied to operational timelines. This transatlantic mesh has a secondary effect: it shifts Theon's relationship to U.S. defense agencies from vendor abroad to industrial participant inside. That distinction matters because program decisions are increasingly made not only on performance and cost, but on the supplier's contribution to allied industrial depth. A system of fused optics produced in Virginia by a Greek-American partnership is politically easier to adopt than the same system shipped from Europe under an export waiver. Industrial gravity can decide outcomes even when technical merit is similar. In aggregate, the Reston expansion signals the direction in which the optical market is tilting. For decades, night vision was a component. Now it is a node. Devices are expected to sense, fuse, annotate, and interlink with digital battle management backbones. Firms that treat optics as isolated hardware will be displaced by those that treat them as integrated endpoints in a sovereign, redundant, alliance-scale network. Theon's strategic bet, Europe anchored, America entered, fusion prioritized, is a direct response to that structural rewrite. Its success or failure will not turn on any single contract, but on whether its transatlantic footprint and fused architecture map onto the procurement logic that now governs the future of soldier vision.